Have you ever, just wished you could rewind time and change one little thing? Or maybe jump ahead and see how it all turns out? For pretty much all of us, time travel feels like pure science fiction. But what if I told you that science says it's not entirely fiction? In fact, in some ways, it's already a scientific reality. Let's dive into the mind-bending world of time travel.
So, yeah, this is the big one, isn't it? Is all this stuff about zipping through the years just for the movies? Or is there actually something to it? Is there a kernel of truth buried in all those stories? You'd probably expect science to just give a flat, boring no, right? Well, you might want to buckle up. The real answer is so much stranger, and frankly, way more interesting than you'd think. Okay, so before we get into the heavy science, let's talk about where we even get our ideas about time travel. And for most of us, it all starts with pop culture, which has done a fantastic job of sparking our curiosity.
I mean, we've all seen it, right? Somebody hops in a time machine to fix a mistake, or they jump forward to see a world of flying cars. This fantasy of being able to rewrite history or know our own destiny is just so powerful. It's no wonder we're all completely fascinated by it.
All right, let's hit pause on fiction and jump into the world of actual science, because this is where things get truly wild. According to one of the smartest people who ever lived, traveling to the future, it's not just possible, it's actually baked into the rules of our universe. This right here, this is the idea that just turned everything on its head. Einstein figured out that time isn't this constant universal clock that just ticks away for everyone at the same speed. Nope. He showed us that time and space are woven together into this single fabric called space-time. And this fabric, it can be stretched and warped by things like gravity and speed. Time is relative. And this weird stretching of time, it's got a name: time dilation. Put simply, the faster you move through space, the slower you move through time. And this is real. It's a measurable effect. The GPS satellites orbiting Earth are going so fast that their clocks tick just a tiny bit slower than ours down here. Your phone has to account for that to even work properly. So let's use the classic example to really make this click. Picture an astronaut who takes off on a journey, flying close to the speed of light. For them, on that ship, maybe a few years go by. But when they come back home to Earth, they'd find that decades, maybe even centuries have passed. They would have, for all intents and purposes, traveled into the future. And that's the big takeaway here. This isn't just some fun little theory. It's a direct consequence of how our universe works. Sure, we don't have the technology to get a ship moving that fast, yet, but the science is solid. Traveling to the future is absolutely on the table. Okay, so traveling to the future seems possible, which is amazing. But what about what we really want to do? Go back in time? Well, to even think about that, we have to wander into some of the strangest, most speculative areas of physics. And that brings us to the wormhole. Remember that fabric of space-time we talked about? Well, a wormhole is a theoretical tunnel, a shortcut that punches right through it. Think of it like folding a piece of paper and poking a pencil through both sides at once. It could connect 2 points in space, or, and this is where it gets crazy, it could potentially connect 2 different points in time. This really breaks down the difference. See, future travel is built on Einstein's tested and proven theory of relativity. It's plausible. Past travel, though, that depends on wormholes, which are completely theoretical. It's the difference between just slowing your own clock down versus finding some kind of magical tunnel through time itself. And you knew there was a catch, right? Here it is. For all the cool math and exciting ideas, we have zero evidence that wormholes actually exist. None. Right now, they're just beautiful concepts on a whiteboard, not something we've ever observed out there in the universe. But let's pretend for a second. Let's say we found a wormhole and could go back. We'd immediately run into a massive logical problem, a headache so big it could literally break reality. We're talking about paradoxes. So let's walk through the most famous one. You go back in time, you do something that stops your grandparents from ever meeting. Okay, so now your parent is never born, which means you are never born. So, wait a minute. If you were never born, who went back in time to stop your grandparents from meeting in the first place? Your brain just melts, right? It's a perfect, impossible loop. And it's these kinds of logical knots that make scientists really, really skeptical about traveling to the past. Some physicists think the universe has some kind of self-correction rule that makes paradoxes impossible. Others have cooked up wild ideas like maybe every change you make just splinters off a whole new parallel universe.
But for now, it's a giant, unsolved problem.
So we've gone through Einstein, wormholes, paradoxes. What's the bottom line? After this whole journey, where do things actually stand right now, today, in the real world? Well, here's where we are. We've got no proof that anyone has ever traveled through time, but the search to understand time itself is moving faster than ever. Scientists are studying black holes, quantum physics, the very nature of space-time, and all of that work is pushing the boundaries of what we even thought was possible. The dream of time travel is still one of the biggest things driving our curiosity about the universe. And you gotta keep things in perspective. Just a couple hundred years ago, the idea of walking on the moon was nothing more than a crazy fantasy. Today, it's a historical fact. Science is always moving forward, and the things that seem impossible to us now, who knows? They might just be waiting for a breakthrough we can't even imagine yet.
You know, for all our obsession with the past and the future, maybe this is the most important lesson. Whether we ever build that time machine or not, the present moment, right now, is the only time we really have. It's the one place we can actually live, make choices, and build a future that's worth traveling to. So what are you going to do with your now?